Have you ever thought about what you'd do if every grocery store in your city ran empty, or if your water supply was suddenly cut off? Are you prepared for any situation that may arise to be able to take care of your family, such as a power outage or a natural disaster? Today, I'm going to share with you the 14 essential prepping items that every one of us should have ready to go. 1. Shelter and sleeping supplies. In a tough situation or during a mainland attack, there's a real possibility that you might not be able to stay in your home. Imagine having to leave your home quickly. Where would you go? How would you keep your family safe from the elements? Having a backup shelter option is a game changer. But not just any shelter will do. It has to be strong. Tents are good, but pick one that can handle bad weather and fits everyone in your group. Now let's talk about sleeping arrangements. Quality sleeping bags are a must-have. Imagine being in a situation where the temperature drops unexpectedly. A good sleeping bag, one that's rated for different temperatures, can make all the difference. And don't forget about comfort. Portable sleeping pads might seem like a luxury in times of crisis, but they can really help you get a good night's sleep, which is super important in tough times. For extreme conditions, emergency bivy bags can be lifesavers. They're compact, lightweight, and can provide critical warmth in dire situations. And here's a crucial point. Keep a set of these items in your bug-out bag. Why? Because in an emergency, you might not have time to gather your stuff. Having a bag ready means you're all set to leave in a hurry with what you need. 2. Barter items. When we're preparing for a situation where everything changes drastically, it's essential to think beyond just food, water, and shelter. One aspect that often gets overlooked is the importance of having a stockpile of barter items. Picture this. Regular currency might lose its value when the usual systems are down. That's where barter items come in. They become the new currency in a world where trading is the way to get what you need. What makes a good barter item? Look for things in high demand that are small and easy to trade. Classic examples are alcohol and tobacco. Even if you don't use them, others will trade valuable items for them. Coffee is another good one. Similarly, ammunition is also crucial in situations where security and hunting become paramount. Ammo is like gold. But remember, with items like ammunition, you need to be extremely cautious about who you're trading with and the potential risks involved. Hygiene items are often forgotten, but imagine being without toothpaste, soap, or sanitary products for a while. These items contribute not just to comfort, but also to health and sanitation in a crisis. Here's something else to consider. You don't have to just trade tangible goods. Your skills and knowledge can be just as valuable, if not more so, in a barter economy. If you have medical training, know how to repair things, or can produce food, you have a goldmine of barter potential. These skills can't be stolen or lost, and they'll be in high demand. 3. Cooking equipment. One of the first things people stock up on when preparing for situations like these is food. But have you considered how you'll cook that food when your regular kitchen isn't an option? Your stove and microwave won't help much in these situations. That's where portable cooking gear shines. Think camping stoves or backpacking stoves. They're small, efficient, and perfect for cooking when your usual setup isn't an option. And let's not forget about solar ovens. These are incredible devices that use sunlight to cook your food. But here's the thing. These stoves and ovens are only as good as the fuel you have for them. It's crucial to stock up on the right kind of fuel, whether it's propane, butane, alcohol, or solid fuel tablets. Make sure you have enough to last, because the last thing you want is a stove with no fuel to run it. If high-tech isn't your thing, go old school with a Dutch oven. It can be used over an open fire and is great for outdoor cooking. But having the gear is only half the battle. You also need the right cookware. Lightweight and durable stuff that fits your portable stove or oven is key. I can't stress enough how important this is. In a situation where you can't rely on your usual kitchen setup, being able to cook and boil water safely and efficiently can make a huge difference. It's about keeping some normalcy and having hot, nutritious meals when things are tough. 4. Fire-starting tools and fuel. Speaking of cooking, you've got to have fire-starting tools handy. The ability to start a fire isn't just a survival skill, it's a necessity. We're talking about keeping warm, cooking food, and boosting our morale with a warm, crackling fire in tough times. Now, it's essential to diversify your fire-starting toolkit. You should not just have a bunch of lighters stashed away. You need to be prepared for all kinds of situations. Waterproof matches are a game changer, especially in wet or damp conditions. Have you considered ferro rods? These are incredibly reliable and work even when wet. But starting a fire is just the beginning. You need fuel to keep it going. Wood is great, but what if it's scarce? That's where alternative fuels like propane or kerosene come in handy, especially for portable stoves or heaters. But remember, storing these fuels isn't something to take lightly. You've got to do your due diligence and be in line with local regulations to avoid any risky situations. Having these tools and fuels isn't enough. You need to know how to use them. Practice is key. Get comfortable with your fire-starting tools. Try them out in different conditions. It's this kind of preparation and hands-on experience that truly makes you ready for whatever comes your way. 5. Tools and repair supplies. In a long-lasting crisis, being able to fix things can keep you safe. That's why it's crucial to have the right tools and repair stuff ready. Think about it. Without the right tools, a small problem can quickly become a disaster. That's why your toolkit needs to be well-equipped. We're talking about the basics here: hammers, screwdrivers, pliers, wrenches, and a saw. Nails, screws, duct tape, superglue, and rope can be absolute game changers in a variety of situations. For those of you with skills, having specialized tools for electrical or plumbing repairs could literally save your life or someone else's. And let's not forget about multi-tools. These compact wonders are incredibly handy for a multitude of tasks, making them a must-have in any crisis situation. Think beyond just fixing stuff. In situations where you might have to build or change things to stay safe, tools like axes, shovels, and crowbars become super important. And here's a pro tip: keep a stock of essential spare parts for your most crucial equipment. In a situation where you can't just run to the store, having these spares could be the difference between keeping a vital piece of equipment running or not. 6. Clothing and gear. When we talk about preparing for unexpected situations, one thing we can't overlook is the importance of clothing and protective gear. Your clothing needs to be tough and ready for anything. Think sturdy, weather-resistant clothes that can handle whatever nature throws your way. The key is layering up. Start with a base layer that wicks away sweat to keep you dry and prevent hypothermia. Then add insulation to stay warm, topped with an outer layer to shield you from wind and rain. Layering gives you flexibility as conditions change, a crucial factor for survival. Your feet deserve some love too. Imagine trekking through rough terrain or covering long distances. Quality boots are essential, providing comfort and support to keep you going without blisters or aching feet slowing you down. And let's not forget about protective gear. Gloves to safeguard your hands, hats to shield you from the sun or keep you warm, and sunglasses to protect your eyes are all must-haves. In more extreme situations, like facing threats beyond just harsh weather, you'll need specialized gear. Think gas masks or NBC suits for protection against chemical or nuclear hazards. It might sound like something out of a movie, but in the event of a chemical attack or nuclear fallout, having these could save your life. 7. Sanitation and hygiene. Another thing you simply can't afford to overlook is sanitation and hygiene supplies. You might not realize it now, but in a crisis, these are as vital as your food and water supply. When the grid goes down, or in the chaos following an attack, maintaining cleanliness and proper sanitation is going to be a huge challenge. Diseases can spread fast when things get chaotic. That's why you need to stay clean. Stock up on personal hygiene stuff like soap, toothpaste, and deodorant. Toilet paper might become rare, so make sure you have plenty. Baby wipes and hand sanitizer are important too, especially if you don't have running water. And let's not forget about waste disposal. If you can't flush your toilet, what's your plan? Consider alternatives like a portable toilet or supplies for constructing a composting toilet. And trust me, you're going to need lots of garbage bags for waste management. 8. Self-defense and security measures. Your safety and the safety of those around you are top priorities. That's where self-defense and security measures come in. And you can't take this lightly. Depending on where you live, your specific circumstances, and what you're comfortable with, this could mean different things. For some, it involves firearms and ammunition. If that's your choice, it's critical to get proper training. Knowing how to handle a gun safely and effectively is as important as owning one. And remember, always stay within the bounds of local laws and regulations. But guns aren't the only option. Non-lethal options like pepper spray or tasers can deter attackers without causing permanent harm. And don't forget about basic self-defense tools like sturdy knives. They're handy in a pinch. 9. Power supplies. My fellow Americans, one thing you absolutely can't overlook is your energy and power supplies. When emergencies strike, our regular power grid might fail, leaving us without electricity for an uncertain period. It's something we can't afford to ignore. First off, consider how you'll keep your essential devices running. Your phones, radios, the basics for staying connected and informed. Solar chargers are fantastic for those small gadgets, offering a reliable power source independent of the grid. But that's just the beginning. For larger power needs, portable generators can be real lifesavers. However, it's essential to handle fuel storage safely to avoid accidents during an already challenging time. Now on to batteries. Stock up on the right sizes for your crucial devices. Opt for rechargeable ones and team them up with a solar charger for a sustainable, long-lasting solution. And let's not overlook the simple yet effective hand crank flashlights or lanterns. These no-fuss options ensure you're never left in the dark when the lights go out. If possible, think bigger. Solar panels or wind turbines might require an initial investment, but they provide unbeatable long-term power solutions. They'll keep you going when everything else fails. 10. Navigation tools. Imagine situations with no power or satellite connectivity. That's when old-school navigation tools become your lifeline. You need a compass and detailed paper maps, not just of your local area, but also of your state and surrounding regions. Why? Because if you need to move out or search for resources in unfamiliar territory, these tools are your best friends. Relying solely on GPS is risky in an emergency. If you've never read a map or used a compass outside of your phone, now's the time to learn. This isn't just a hobby, it's a survival skill that could make all the difference. Don't stop there. Think about other navigation aids like binoculars. Imagine needing to scout ahead or check out an area from a safe distance. Binoculars can be a game changer. Also, a reliable, rugged watch is essential for timekeeping in survival situations. Keeping track of time can help you manage your activities, from navigating to ensuring you're not out in the open when it's risky. Remember, technology is great, but it's not fail-proof. Equip yourself with these traditional navigation tools and skills. 11. Communication sources. In times of major crisis, the importance of staying informed can't be overstated. Things can change in the blink of an eye, and not having the right information can be dangerous. That's why having a battery-powered or hand-crank emergency radio is essential. These radios are your lifeline to weather alerts and crucial news updates when everything else is down. But let's talk about how you can communicate within your family or group. In situations where cell phone towers are knocked out, you can't rely on your phone. That's where two-way radios or walkie-talkies come into play. They can be real game changers for staying in touch with your loved ones or group members, especially in remote areas or when you're on the move. If you're looking at a more robust solution, consider getting a satellite phone. Yes, they're pricier, but in scenarios where traditional communication networks have collapsed, these phones are worth their weight in gold. They can be your only link to the outside world. 12. First aid supplies. In any kind of crisis, whether it's a natural disaster, a pandemic, or any unforeseen emergency, getting medical help might not be as easy as dialing 911. Hospitals could be overwhelmed, or you might find yourself cut off from professional care. That's why it's vital to have a comprehensive first aid kit at your disposal. But let's be clear. First aid doesn't just mean a few Band-Aids and some antiseptic cream. You need to be prepared for a wide range of injuries. Your kit should include enough supplies to handle everything, from minor cuts and burns to more serious injuries. Make sure you've got plenty of bandages, antiseptics, antibiotic ointments, and pain relievers. Don't forget the essentials like gauze, medical tape, scissors, and tweezers. And it's not just about what's in your kit. If you or anyone in your family takes prescription medications, stock up on those too. You don't want to be caught in a situation when you're running low on something critical. But here's the thing, it's not just about stocking up on supplies. you've got to know how to use them. I can't stress enough how important it is to educate yourself on basic first aid and CPR. And if you can, go a step further and learn some advanced medical care techniques. In a crisis, these skills could literally be a lifesaver. Also, think about adding items like tourniquets, splints, and wound closure strips to your kit. These are things that can make a huge difference in serious situations. 13. Food supplies. Caloric, long-term food supplies are essential. You want foods that are calorie-dense, nutritionally balanced, and have a long shelf life. Let's dive into the best options and why they're crucial, plus some tips on how much you should be stockpiling. First up, we have dried goods like rice, beans, and lentils. These are packed with the energy and protein your body needs, and they last a long time if stored properly. Aim for a variety of beans and lentils and about 60 to 100 pounds of rice per person for a year. Next, canned goods are a lifesaver. They're already cooked and full of important vitamins and minerals. Stock up on a mix of vegetables, fruits, and meats, aiming for about 365 cans per person for a year. Remember to rotate your stock to keep it fresh and store everything in a cool, dry place. And make sure to consider any special dietary needs your family may have, including allergies. Also, learn about local edible plants. This knowledge can be a lifesaver if your stockpile runs low. 14. Water purification systems. We can live weeks without food, but only days without water. Think about this. How many of you have a reliable method to purify water if your tap suddenly runs dry? Portable water filters like Sawyer and Life Straw are perfect for individual use, removing harmful bacteria and viruses. For larger groups, consider gravity-fed filters like the Big Berkey. Purification tablets are lightweight and have a long shelf life, making them a great backup option. And don't forget about household bleach, which can be used in emergencies but needs to be rotated every 6 months. When stockpiling, aim for at least a 2-week supply of bottled water per person, along with enough filters and purification tablets for your household. And consider renewable water sources like rainwater collection systems for long-term security. Also, learn about your local water sources and have a plan for accessing and purifying them in an emergency. Water is life, and ensuring you have access to clean, safe water in any situation is crucial. This is all about what you must do to protect yourself and your loved ones. But wait, what are the things you must avoid at all cost? Things that could spell disaster for you. Click the video on screen now to learn more about these 7 things to avoid when disaster strikes.